show here at the Room Podcast with my special guest, Dan the Hamburgler Cormier, fighting
What up, everyone?
Bellator 232 this Saturday night. Dan, thanks so much, man. Wednesday night, giving me a call, fight week. I appreciate it, buddy. How you feeling about this opportunity?
No, I feel great about it. It's definitely a step in the right direction to where I want to be. And it's just the accumulation of all the hard work over the past, 8 to 9 years that's finally coming to fruition. This is what we strive for as fighters, to get that call or opportunity on the big stage where we want to be.
Big stage indeed, fighting right, in New England. So your fans are going to be there to see you for the first time fighting for Bellator, hitting that bigger stage in your career. Dan, 2 fights, 2 finishes this year. You're on a tear. You fought in the strawweight division. I do believe the last 4 fights or the last 3 fights?
The last 2 out of 3 fights have been at strawweight, and then the last one I just had in August was at flyweight, and this one is at flyweight as well.
Yeah, this one coming in flyweight. Of course, you're fighting a big name, Johnny, Mr. Nice Guy Lopez, another New England native, another really great fighter, nice guy. Dude, how you feel about this matchup? Because this is a big New England flyweight showcase here.
Honestly, in my career, I've never taken any easy fights, really, and at a certain time, everyone has to cross that path. And I just feel like the timing's lined up where, hey, we both want the same shot, same opportunity, and that's what's going to make it a very appealing and interesting fight.
Definitely. Johnny, big ground guy. It's got the stand-up game there too, but a lot of finishes in his wins. Dan, you come off a fight where you basically kicked the guy's leg off his body. You've been training a lot on your stand-up and your last couple of training camps. It seems like you want to showcase that standing skill of yours and all that hard work. I mean, we know your ground credentials and all that coming out of Triforce BJJ, but your stand-up game's been looking outstanding. Even the fight before that, that you won to, you got a submission, but the stand-up game is what set that up. Dude, what's going on, man? Is this a whole new birth? Do you want to showcase your stand-up, or is it just, the stars are aligning for you right now?
I don't know. Maybe the stars are just aligning. Well, I feel much more relaxed now that I got a lot more things going for me, and I have other things I do besides fighting. So I'm just not constantly thinking about fighting all the time anymore. I picked up a few different hobbies, stuff like that, and mainly just training your mind just as much as I would my body is what it's really coming down to. And if anything, I think that my mind is just so strong and at a good place right now where my body is following the commands at this point.
Awesome, my guy. I mean, you're on a tear. It seems like, this year is the time for Dan Cormier to really shine. Who's been helping you in this camp? I mean, you've been getting other fighters ready. You got your own there, John Duma, fighting on the same card. That's damn exciting. But who's been kind of helping you out, to mimic Johnny's speed and his game to help you get ready for this?
Mainly, I just train with everybody, because no matter what, you want to be ready for any style. Because, yeah, I can watch video on Johnny, but then he could do something totally different than what I've seen. So, therefore, I just train in general for any particular style, train with anybody, because someone has something to offer you no matter what at the end of the day. And the big thing is just keeping an open mind and being receptive to what your coaches are saying, and being a student of the game is what it really comes down to. And being able to make different transitions and adjustments throughout your camp and add new things and start different things as well makes a big difference, especially for my mentality and everything like that. And the biggest thing that I had before was I thought about fighting 24/7 because that's what you do as a fighter. You think about it all the time, but now that I have like other like hobbies that I do now off side of this, it's made life a lot easier because I'm constantly not overthinking and being in my own head at that point. I have other things that I enjoy doing now, which kind of brings the stress level down, keeps me at like a nice ground level, and just keeps me clear and have clarity at this point of the game.
Well, it definitely seems like you're more relaxed and you're definitely having more fun in the cage there. And it's showing, with the success you're having and the way you're having it in there. And you talk about these hobbies there. What have you picked up in, to take your mind and focus, off fighting 24/7? What are you getting good at? Are you getting good at any of these hobbies, and what are you picking up?
I'm getting pretty decent with, I got into the whole archery scene, and it's actually pretty fun because I got myself a compound bow, and there's a lot that really goes into it because that's all about a game of like centimeters and millimeters at that point. Any small minor adjustment that you do in your hand, pulling back the drawstring on it, what peep sight that you have looking through onto your sights, what poundage is your line that you're pulling, and then what kind of like bow are you using, and what kind of release is going on, and whether the wind is blowing and stuff like there's a whole lot of variables that I never thought about. And now that I've been studying more and more about it and kind of watching all these videos, it's taken me into like a whole new world. And the fact that it helps me with like patience and really like focusing on my breathing and being in control of like my mind, body, and just pretty much, like I said, all comes in full circle on just your thought process and just how you relate to life. Because when I started getting into all this, I actually listened to one of the Joe Rogan podcasts, and he was into it.
Yeah.
Then him and Cam Haynes was talking, and Cameron Haynes is an excellent archer who came up with the slogan, just keep hammering. And he gets up at like 4 in the morning, does his runs, does his weightlifting, goes hunting on weekends and stuff like that. Excellent archer. So I kind of took his principle of getting used to the whole 24 hours, and using my time to the best that I can. And that's why like I've been actually lifting a lot more now, focusing, because I do want to actually go deer hunting in the near future. And honestly, you got to be able to lug that thing around if you end up taking it anymore. You better be able to pull that thing through the woods,
Yeah, no one's
so
helping.
I'm
No
not trying
one's.
to be that guy that does anything dumb and can't finish,
Yeah, exactly. They'll leave you there with it to die. You're pulling that thing, and oh dear, we're not helping you at all. So you speak, you speak about lifting weights, Dan. You have fought at the strawweight, and that was a division you were kind of trying to build up because you said in your own words you're a little, you fighting bigger guys at 125 because a lot of them are cutting way down. As far as lifting and stuff, is this going to help you to really be able to compete with the bigger flyweights there that cut a lot of weight to get down there?
I mean, in the sense that yeah, it could be helpful, but the thing is though, when I'm lifting, I'm not trying to like lift heavy and max out or anything like that. I'm just doing it for my everyday normal functional fitness. I do a lot of reps because I would rather have muscular endurance versus being explosive because I like to grind.
Yeah.
And that's what my whole entire day is, just grinding.
Now, as far as this matchup, Dan, I know you got big game plans with Pete Jeffrey there, so we don't want any of those beans. But Johnny has a lot of skill in a lot of areas. Where do you see this fight going, and where do you want to kind of keep this fight? Because you've been showcasing your striking, and we know what you can do on the ground. What are you looking to do in this fight for your first time at Bellator in a huge matchup like this?
Honestly, I haven't really thought that much about like the actual fight, because once again, I don't want to overanalyze things and kind of just anticipate something that could possibly not happen, because then it could just throw me off in general, So I'm kind of just going with the whole entire scheme of just go in there and fight, and that's what's been working. Just go in there and fight, because if you go in there with a game plan, it's going to get changed no matter what. So I'd rather just be in the moment and be present so that way my thoughts aren't scattered all over the place and stuff like that. And honestly, it's like he has a very good ground game. I have a good ground game. He has good stand up. I have good stand up. We're just gonna go out there and do what we do, and that's really about it. And we're gonna have fun doing it.
It's a great treat for New England. I mean, two of the best flyweights in New England. Throwing down in Bellator. Last question about this fight there, Dan. You're heading into Bellator for the first time, Mohegan Sun, going in there with one of your training partners, John Duma, who's been there. He's basically shocked the Bellator family with his last win there. He's going in there to try to get another win, and maybe get a contract with Bellator with his showing. How excited are you, and what's the feeling like now that you're getting to that stage and fighting for Bellator, one of the biggest promotions in the world?
Honestly, I'm not really that struck about anything because to me, at the end of the day, it's just another fight. And yeah, I get it. It's under the big stage, a big light. But then if you go win it in that sense where it's like such a big deal to you. Sorry, that's my dog making a bunch of noise.
She can come in.
Oh, yeah, she's just being a hold your brother.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's your partner in crime, Dan. Your dog's everywhere with you, man. So that's,
I take everywhere. We go everywhere.
I thought she was going to be in the interview with you, so I was, getting ready here. So
I'm surprised she hasn't tried getting on the pillow. She's hugging up on me right now, but now she has snacks over there, so she's good.
Excellent. So,
with the whole Bellator thing, it's like, to me, it's just another fight right now because if you go in there and you put this like name and everything else into play, you're putting like unnecessary pressure on yourself, and you're not going to show up and be you because then it's like your mind's not on the task at hand. And honestly, it's just about the fight, and I'm going to go in there and do what I do and figure it out on the fly right now, and pretty much, like I said, just another fight. I've done this God knows how many times already, maybe too many times. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just going in there, relaxing, doing what I normally do,
Excellent. Well, Dan, it's great to see. I mean, your mindset and just the way you talk, very relaxed, very confident, and just letting the cards fall where they will. Dude, you're killing it this year. You're beating people up. You're finishing them. You're leg kicking them. You're submitting them. And now you get your shot at Bellator against the #1 flyweight in New England and Johnny, Mr. Nice Guy, man. Dan, last thing, shout outs and social media. I know there's a couple more days to sell tickets and get more fans in the seat for you. So let it shout.
Yeah, I want to say big thanks to Chess Move Management. Carlos has been a big help getting everything done for me. He's wonderful, I have nothing but respect for that man because he's a hardworking man, and I'm glad that I can represent him, as well as my Triforce MMA family, my Moy Lau, Master William, RCJ Machado for Jiu-Jitsu, and TFW Training for Warriors. They always help me out with my conditioning and everything else. And just my basic support system of, like, my family, my friends, and my co-workers, because they're the ones that deal with me doing with all this. And they keep me pretty well level, well grounded, and stuff like that. And then, actually, a big apology to my dog because my crazy hours right now. Oh, God, she barely spooked me right now,
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's probably like, as long as you give me food, I'm good,
You gonna sneak her into the hotel room?
You know what? I do have a bunch of people in Connecticut. I might keep her over near me if I need to.
There you go. Hey, buddy, whatever works for you, makes you feel better going in there, man. Dan, I love it. I love that you're getting this shot, man. It's a long time coming. You're on a tear. And, man, I can't wait to see you on Saturday night fighting Bellator 232, man. Basically, in your home turf, man, New England, bro. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you, my man. I greatly appreciate it. Who knows? Maybe if I can put on a good show and, I can get them to do strawweight and be in the whole competitiveness with ONE FC then, That would be a dream right there.
Well, Dan, if a win here, more eyes are going to be on you, and you can be vocal and shout out and whatever you want after this fight, because it's going to be a big win if you get your hands raised. And I'm excited to see you two warriors go at it. So thanks a lot, my man.
Nah, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate the time, and I would have made it in, but my schedule is hectic.
We understand, my man. We'll get you post fight a couple of weeks after.
Yeah, it sounds good to me then.
All right, Dan. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy.